XRP crypto rejection, ETF, flat, government overreach. Is it adoption or is it control? Everything is changing with the Fed, the dot plot, the hidden secrets. What's actually going on right now, and how can you win consistently and always be in the green and always beat the market? I'm achieving it, and I'm going to share with you some insights, some very important insights on XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, who's buying, who's selling, who's controlling, who's manipulating, and try to get to the bottom of all of this. Why didn't XRP explode? We had an ETF, we had a rate cut, nothing happened. What am I doing with my real money? Where am I finding real value? And what's actually going on? So I've been up most of the night talking to Bank of America, talking to Robinhood, talking to CEOs, hedge fund managers, and the like, to work out what's going on. Because my job will always be, and always has been, not about selling videos and appealing to what's popular or creating noise. My job is one thing and one thing alone: to provide the best value of your time to my viewers, the Lucasades. Provide honest information which helps you win consistently, like I am again today. Major switches in my portfolio, major pivots. Let me explain it all live to you now. Unedited, unscripted, and with you live every morning. I value my silver play button. We're on the road to the gold one, which will be here in 1.5 years, 1 million, and in 15 years, yep, I'm going to stay in this chair for 15 years to become the first 1 billion channel in the world. Everything is changing for networks, TV, and we are at the very front of it. And we have ambassadors around the world now helping grow Martyn Lucas Investor and this family. So I'm here for your benefit. Now, the decisions I'm making are my own strategy. It's my own money. I share it all with you. You can do what you like with it. You can agree, disagree. It's not to sell videos. I'm sharing my path, or what I think is the right thing to do. Unaided, unsponsored, so you know it's real and transparent. You do what you like. So let's start from the beginning. If you wouldn't mind, please do tap the like button. That would be very kind. It helps grow this channel, be part of the inner circle with me, and there'll be many rewards for those that join me along the journey. Please do tap the like button. I hope you've all done that by now. There's 467 watching. And would you also consider subscribing as well? That would be very, very kind. I much appreciate it. So let me just give you the headlines in addition to what I've just given you to this live stream this morning. We are going to cover the opening bell. As you can see, we're just 5 minutes away. We're on commercial breaks at New York Stock Exchange. We will cover the opening bell. There's some major pivots here and some major news. Now, of course, my job is not only to provide you the best information, but it's also to always win and be seen to be always winning. You can see my portfolio is up again today. Now, I don't know. Maybe my philosophy, maybe, and I may be wrong, may be swayed with recent events in my personal life with Leah. As you all know, Leah last night we both visited last night, the cancer surgeon, and Leah wanted to tell you, thank you to all of you, prayers and thoughts. It was very much appreciated. We're now starting our road of treatment and the path that's laid out before us. Have no choice. The path is there, and we must take that path. So I've got an extra direction now of making consistent money, because we're going to need a lot of money. So I'm not in the business of ever losing money, but now I've got an extra focus. So maybe I'm biased in my thoughts that I'm going to share with you. Maybe I am, maybe I'm wrong. But I know how to make money. and I know how to grow a YouTube channel by doing it the right way. So this may not be popular, but it will be effective and it will work and I will win, and which means you will win and I will get it done. So that's where we are right now. So let me start. There's a lot to unpack here. We are just 2 minutes before the bell goes, so I don't want to start too much because we're going to ring the bell, see where the market opens, and then I'm going to go into it. So during this live stream, I've run an AI model here of Coca Cola. This is a big part of today's story. I've also got a story as Trump is on a phone call right at this moment, literally, with Xi Jinping. It's important. I've got that information. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway should sell Coca Cola. Well, that's contradictory to what I was just saying, right? I'm going to cover that. Also, what's going on with the ETFs? What's going on with all of the with all the momentum, all the lack of with the ETFs? Also, I'm going to go deep dive with you into what was said behind the scenes at the Fed and what it means with Donald Trump now with the Jimmy Kimmel story. Everything is getting a bit too noisy for me, and I don't like it, because when we get noise, we don't get adoption, we get control, and I guarantee you all lose money, because those at the top will make sure you lose money. Not because it's a conspiracy, it's just the way it works. All right, so we are now 50 seconds before the bell goes. We're going to ring that and then we're going to go through all of the news. So hopefully all of you will be able to navigate and win. I'm beating the market again today. I always beat the market. I always make money. 74 trades, 73 wins. That's about to go up to 80 trades and 79 wins. I'll update that with you live on the show. I've been very busy trading throughout the night. So let's get ready to ring the bell. We are seconds away from the bell. We have the bell in hand. We are ready to go. Let's get ready to ring the bell.
Other than free beer, I mean, beer is actually something that we all took for granted, as that would just never. But beer is for sale.
9,
and that's going to help people go out.
7, 6,
By the way,
5, 4, 3,
I don't know.
2,
Used to run a bar.
1.
You wouldn't be able to tell us now, but you got out of it.
I got into the mocktail business. People love a good mocktail. You can just fool all the time. Keep people on the mocktail.
The bell has gone. We are off. Let's see if we can win again today. We will win again today. I guarantee it. Just watch. I'll show you.
Let's get the opening bell here with CNBC's Real-Time Exchange. At the big board, it's JP Morgan Chase celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month at the NASDAQ, celebrating an IPO, Pattern Group, e-commerce firm that resells goods on marketplaces.
So the overall portfolio is going down right now, but I'm armed and ready. I'm really armed and ready. You'll see why in a moment. The S&P is up, but trimming. Virgin Galactic is up 0.43. Palantir is up 0.39. Gold is up 0.23. Amazon up 0.56. Apple up 1.64. The new iPhone's out today, iPhone 17. I've already downloaded iOS, I think 26, and I don't like it, but we never do we? Enphase Energy. Why is that going down? We'll talk about that later. Coca Cola now going down again. I'm ready to buy a ton more, and I'll show you why in a moment. J&J down 0.15. Chevron down 0.24. Tesla up 1.92. McDonald's is flat right now. Google up 0.53. Microsoft up 0.56. Meta 0.78, going to 1,000. Nvidia going to 200, but now down 0.29. Walmart is pretty flat. Tilray is just an absolute joke. It's just barcoding. Don't touch anything like that. Robinhood is up 0.64. Rocket Lab, too expensive, going down again. Plug Power, Russian manipulation, I know firsthand. Bitcoin down 0.62. Be very, very careful. Today, crypto all selling off. XRP down 0.67. And Ethereum down 0.86. Let's go back to our main look here. You can see I'm down slightly. There's our crypto. I've massively reduced my crypto position. I'll explain why. I've been doing it now for 2 or 3 days. Coca Cola is now 66.42, 66.41. I'm paying close attention to this because I'm about to load up $500,000 in Coca Cola. I've already started the process. There's much more to do. Just watch me buy with conviction. All right, there we go. There is our opening market for the morning. If you just tuned in, we got new members. We got 1970 Buckley giving a memberships away. If you have subscribed, you can win a membership. If you are liking, you can win a membership. We are giving memberships away today. Thanks to 1970 Buckley. So a perfect opportunity for you to upgrade to Electrum. That's our VIP service. Anything above that as well, gold, platinum and sponsorship, you'll be invited to a weekly interactive private event off air just for our members for a trivia quiz to learn about the stock market, have fun, get to know you, and that's where we'll find our new moderators and we'll find our ambassadors for the show as well. Okay, so there we go. Maybe consider now you've got a free membership. I've just dropped the link in the chat. Upgrade. Because now you'll get it for virtually free because you've got a bronze membership given to you. Upgrade to Electrum and you can be part of our weekly event. All right. Okay. Thank you very much indeed for that 1970 Buckley. Also in the chat this morning is Charlotte May Weddings. They are sponsoring with myself, Sensei and Vaz, our latest giveaway, which is $2,000 and it may become $3,000. Okay. Now then, if you've not taken part in our giveaway, it's martynlucas.com/giveaway. Here is the link. It's below in the description of this video. Here is the link. There you go. All right. And one of the things that you can win tickets for is by subscribing to Charlotte May Weddings, one of our sponsors alongside the three of us. You can subscribe. Now, if you try and cheat, and some people have, they've created double accounts, false accounts, VPNs, subscribed, unsubscribed to claim tickets. You will get all your tickets invalidated. So don't try and be clever. We know you. We know how it works. We have the best security. We don't mess about. We're trying to give it to our audience, not to trolls and bots. So one of those things is to subscribe to Charlotte May Weddings, one of our sponsors for this event. They are on 271 subscribers now. They were on 184. There is the link in the chat. Go and subscribe to them now. They're one of our members, one of our viewers, not just a sponsor. They are one of you. We only take sponsorship from our viewers and members, and then make sure you claim the tickets. All right, so let's get into the meat and bones of today. Now then, not only am I going to cover all the news I gave you at the beginning, but I'm also going to live trade and I'm expecting to get Coca Cola up to $500,000. This is very, very serious. Big investing going on here live on the show. So I'm going to keep my eye on Coca Cola. So let's start by the news. Have you all tapped the like button? Thank you very much indeed. And have you all subscribed? Thank you very much indeed. How many people are watching? As we start with the XRP ETF news first, but all of this is interconnected. Could I ask, actually, we've got 730 people watching with just 201 likes. Could everyone smash the like? We should be at 400 likes now. And it does really help the journey of our channel. And in fact, so much so, I would like to say, I'd like to go one step further and say, if you tap the like button, It'll make the little fellas happy. There they are. They're looking over the fence going, all you've got to do is say you like us. We can become the first 1 billion channel in the world. It helps share it out. It's completely free, and it will make sure that you get all our news as we deliver it. Thank you very much. The little fellas love it. Right. So let's start then with what's going on with crypto and what I've done. So this is my crypto position. Now, a few days ago, I had somewhere in the region of $140,000 with my ETFs in XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. I've sold all of the ETFs at the top, taken profit, prepared to pay tax. I've done that. I've now started to trim using tax lots my Bitcoin, Ethereum, not my Ethereum, sorry, because I'm staking that and I'm earning money on that. But I've used tax lots to not pay tax. So in the middle purchases, not at the top, not at the bottom, I don't want to pay any more tax. And I've trimmed XRP a little bit as well. So I can catch it on a lower price. It could drop 30, 40, even 50%. I want to get that because I want to own more XRP to bring to you in prizes. It's being rejected. I had about 16 grand. It's now down to about 9.7. Some of that is to the decline on XRP, but some of that is tax lots trimming. I've trimmed. Where's the money gone? Well, I'll show you where it's gone in a minute, and I'll explain why. On X right now, a lot of people are doing the very opposite of what I'm doing. They are joining the noise that is just rife in the world right now. We've got the Charlie Kirk story. Everybody wants to fight everybody. Now we've got Jimmy Kimmel. Everybody wants to fight everybody. No one is listening anymore. The United States could not be less united at the moment. Everybody is shouting and screaming at everyone, and everyone is going to get completely and utterly wrecked. Because when you shout, you learn nothing. The government is not adopting crypto, it's controlling crypto. And that is important to understand. And that will lead into all of my other stories here today from the Fed. I've got all the behind the scenes, and it will lead into my future investment strategy. I cannot afford to lose. I need to make money to support Leah on her journey through cancer. So let me start with this. Yesterday, we had the release of our first ETF for a meme coin, Dogecoin. What happened? Nothing. Doge went down. What happened? Well, according to everybody on X, it was the best thing since sliced bread. I've been saying for a year, the XRP ETF is not what's important. It's the actual Ripple Bank. Because I'm an investor, and there's very different explanation of what an investor is and what a speculative gambler is, or a fan club member. I'm not a fan of anything other than my Lucasades. So I look to find how an asset or a business or something makes money, how it reproduces itself. Not because it's popular or trendy or sexy. I couldn't care less about that. What's trendy and sexy tomorrow is out of date and a waste of flipping time. I'm looking to find out what can make money. Now, what makes money for me and why I like XRP the most and why I'm holding more XRP now overall as I trim with Bitcoin and Ethereum is because XRP can actually make money. And later on in this video, I'll explain how XRP actually makes money, not just goes up in price. People keep confusing price with value. And when I put a poll out yesterday, many people said, oh no, I'm buying the value. When I asked them, it's because it's the future. It's the payment system. It's this, it's that. That's not the answer. And that is not value. You're just buying the noise. And the noise is now no longer government adoption. It's government control. Look what happened to the Trump coin. And then the other coin that Trump brought out. And people keep buying it. It's like we're addicted now to buying crypto, whether we win or lose. Well, that's not good enough for me. I have to win. I will always win, and so will my Lucasades. So what is going on? Well, we had a strong first day volume. Now, it concerns me when Sensei gets excited about it. Because when Sensei is excited about it and I don't like it, that's a real interesting phenomena. Because Sensei, like me, wants the best for the audience. But Sensei loves crypto. He follows charts. And I like that too. That's why Sensei's on my show as a regular full-time broadcaster. However, we have a difference of opinion here, and that's fine. We can disagree with each other. I wasn't so excited yesterday by the euphoria of the ETF for Dogecoin. Well, I was right, wasn't I? Nothing happened. I wasn't excited by it at all. When I talk to Bank of America and I talk to Ripple, and I do, I'm interested in the bank. Couldn't give a damn about the ETF. It means nothing. Nothing at all. So the first day volume, the newly launched Rex Osprey ETF, which is absolutely rubbish, by the way. They weren't even announcing their price ratio, bit like Yield Max, an absolute ridiculous joke. They weren't announcing that on the day, but people were buying it in volume, in mass. But the coin never went up, did it? The newly launched Rex Osprey XRP ETF and the Dogecoin ETF together saw about 54.7 million in trading volume on day one. Now let's really understand that a minute. I remember watching Sensei's live from his honeymoon, his short. He was excited. And so he should be, because he's been waiting for an ETF for ages. And so have you. And the numbers sound staggering. They do, don't they? 54.7 million in trading volume on day one sounds amazing. Except it's rubbish. And let me explain why. Hardly anybody in the world owns crypto. It is still new. It is still innovative. Hardly anybody does. It's how I understand how to get this channel to 1 billion, because people focus on a small thing. They don't look at the bigger picture. Even Mr. Beast doesn't do that. I'm doing things very differently. We want the world to adopt XRP, crypto. The world doesn't. It's a handful of people, really, getting very excited, being influenced by things that most people in the world don't even read or pay attention to. So it's not global adoption, and an ETF was designed to be a global adoption. It was designed that everybody can now buy into crypto. But it never happened. I said it wouldn't happen, and it didn't happen. XRP is an asset like the S&P or Coca Cola or Microsoft or Google or any other great business when it actually makes money, not when we are told it's adopted, but it ain't. Adoption has now become control, and that is a dangerous thing for a retail investor. What was supposed to happen yesterday was we've got ETFs and now fund managers can buy it. They didn't. You bought it. What happened? It went down. Rubbish. What about the average Joe on the street? Well, the average Joe on the street who has a 401k, who pays a weekly premium into their fund manager or whatever, can now buy crypto without even knowing it, because it will be eventually part of the S&P. I've said that time and time again. However, that didn't happen either. So the numbers that we talk about here of 54.7 million is great from a small perspective of those idiots on X going, now we've got it, boys, bros, baseball caps, God knows whatever. Now we're all going to get rich in 5 minutes. You're not going to get rich in 5 minutes, and you didn't get rich in 5 minutes, and the evidence is shown. Now, I am a bull in crypto, but I know how to make money from it, not chasing momentum. So I couldn't care less about this flipping ETF. While I bring you all this news, I'm just going to keep you updated with the other things that I'm watching, as you know. My portfolio is just sat there, not going anywhere at the moment. My Coca Cola is up, but I'm waiting for a bigger dip. Crypto is there. And the new stock that I went into yesterday, I said I'm going to buy the business. And I never lose. I bought Vertical Aerospace and I'm up now about 30% in 2 days. I never buy speculative assets like this, but I bought Vertical Aerospace and I announced it on the show. And everyone is following me. Please do not follow me. Please do not follow me. However, I'm up now about 30% in 2 days on this. All right. I'm just keeping you updated as I bring you all this news. I brought this out yesterday. I'm going to have the CEO and an MI5 director, think of James Bond, on this show. He's on the board. And I learned about it from a private interview that was aired on our show. A private CEO invitation on our show. And the results are clear to see. Everyone is following me on my trade. I don't want you to follow me on my trade. But people are. And we're up 30% in 2 days. All right? As I talk about it, it's pumping like crazy. I'm not going to focus on that just yet. I don't need to watch that. I know it's at a 20x. A 20x. I'll come back to that later on in the show. MI5 director and the CEO, I'm expecting to be on my show. So let's carry on. This is a big, big day today for investors. Big information. So this ETF was rubbish. Unknown expense ratio. People buying thinking it's the beginning of everything, and nothing happened. So XRP alone bought in 37.7 million. Where did it go? Went straight back out the door again. Where did it go? Went to institutions. It went to management fees. Retailers got wrecked. That makes XRPR the biggest debut ETF launched by volume so far in 2025. Great. Everybody in X is telling you that's the best news in the world. Except it's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. The ETF fund, if you read the prospectus, is rubbish. It's a derivative. It's not like BlackRock will be, not like iShares. It's a rubbish ETF, and it did nothing. Because the numbers look good to you, you think it's great. The world pays no attention to it whatsoever. My portfolio is turning green and going up as we speak. Marvelous. Not a surprise, really. My Vertical Aerospace is going to make me a ton of money, as is my Coca Cola. And I'm going to give you all this in depth today. So let's move on. Muted price movement. Despite big volume, XRP's price hasn't blown up. It's not going to blow up because ETFs don't make money for you, as I've already explained. And ones like this flipping one that was released yesterday make money for the managers who run the bloody thing. Nonsense. Moves are relatively modest. Some traders expected bigger upside with this kind of demand. I didn't. Not at all. It's why one of the reasons why we've just, not only have we got our silver plaque for the biggest audience on XRP in the world, by the way, for ladies, we have 30% ladies. We got the verification tick. Verification tick on YouTube means genuine, authentic channel. The information provided here is real. I am not trying to sell videos. I'm trying to make money and help my Lucasades to make money. I'm very proud of that. And that's why this news will not be clickbait. It'll be fact and it will help you win. You wait till I tell you about my my information on Vertical Aerospace. I wouldn't be surprised if we're 100% up today. Anyway, and that's not a crypto. That's a business. So no demand, nothing going on. Structure and regulatory setup matter. These ETFs aren't pure spot ETFs in the traditional sense. They're absolute trash. And yet, all over X yesterday, it's the best thing that's ever happened. Well, I've spent half the time trying to reject it, not as much as normal, because as you know, I was with Leah yesterday in hospital. So I wasn't on as much as I like to be telling people how rubbish this stuff is, because I thought, sod it. My wife is more important. If people want to believe this stuff, help yourself. I kind of couldn't care less anymore. I got bigger things to worry about. They structured under the Investment Company Act of 1940 rather than the 33 Act. Now, what does that mean? No one talked about that yesterday on X. Well, let me explain what it actually means. Some ETFs follow a code of ethics and quality, providing a quality fund. Some do a system whereby, by default, if there's no rejection, they get passed in 75 days. Well, this company decided, well, we're a load of rubbish, but if we do this, we can get passed quicker, and we can beat the system, and we can be out before anybody else. Everybody will buy us, we'll make loads of money, and then the fund will crash. Doesn't really matter because we can make money. That's what essentially is happening. So anyway, that's what that, in a nutshell, that act actually means. Thank you for your subscription, by the way, Rob M. Because of the structure, XRPR doesn't hold only the XRP directly. These are derivatives. It's absolutely rubbish. Remember Meet Kevin, a YouTuber who used to work at Pizza Hut? He set up an ETF, went down the toilet. It's rubbish. This is another one. Some assets are held via a Cayman Island subsidiary. Do I need to say more? I've been to Cayman Islands. What a joke that is. Very nice beach, but I wouldn't want to invest in it. A lot of dodgy money goes over there. Oh, let me read this out from one of my viewers.
Donated €5 through a super chat. Every ETF launched before Clarity Act is a nothing. Hamburger emoji. That's the reason why the big fellas have been postponed. Praying for Leah Martyn. Much love. Red heart emoji.
Thank you very much indeed, Machiavelli. Appreciate that support and message for Leah. Very kind. So, leadership expectations. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has said a spot ETF in the US is inevitable before year end. I totally agree. Totally agree with that, citing surging demand. I don't think there'll be surging demand though. Remember, we like Brad Garlinghouse, but he's a salesman. He's the CEO of Ripple. He can't talk it down, can he? Got to talk it up. Derivative and volume signals. Market data shows derivatives activity. XRP future volumes have surged. Example, a reported 140% jump in some metrics in the wake of the ETF news. Rubbish. Open interest is up as well, which suggests new capital is coming in rather than just speculation over existing positions. Okay? Still rubbish. It just gets dumped again. What's uncertain? What to watch? Because the ETFs are not fully spot and have mixed holdings, they could be tracking error or underperformance relative to holding XRP directly. They're a useless thing. And at the end of the day, whether you like the ETF or not, crypto isn't moving on it. And there's a bigger story. Don't get bored. Don't get, oh, this is going on for ages. There's lots to share with you. I sat through 9 hours of a Berkshire Hathaway presentation. I haven't even got to the big stuff of me trading up to $500,000 on Coca Cola and why and what the Fed are really doing and what the government are really doing. So please please have patience. Doesn't bother me whether you do or not. I just don't want you to miss out on really something valuable. Fees, tax treatment, and liquidity may differ, especially with the 40 Act structure and use of foreign ETFs. You're damn right. These fees will be ridiculous. You'll be promised things and you'll be paying fees and it'll be a complete waste of time. The only people that benefit are the fund managers who set them up. We'll be talking about government control, not government adoption in a moment. Regulatory risk remains. Spot ETFs still require SEC approval for some filings. There may be delays or pushbacks. What happens when other ETFs, more pure spot ones, launch? Will they cannibalize demand for XRPR and DOJE? Well, there's a question. Markets and sentiment takeaway before I move on to the next part of this story. Investors are interested. I wouldn't say investors, I would say gamblers and speculators are interested in this rubbish. The volume numbers show people are willing to back exposure to XRP via ETFs. But they aren't widely euphoric yet. Price action is cautious, perhaps because market participants are still parsing structure and waiting for more favourable ETF forms. Yes and no. I think this tells you that the other ETFs are going to do the same thing. Look at the value and how you make money from XRP, and an ETF is not it. Optimism is growing that this could be a turning point for broader altcoin ETF acceptance, especially with SEC moving toward more streamlined listing standards. Okay, let's move on to the next part of this. Thank you very much for staying with me so far. We've got only 1,000 people. Please tap the like button. It really does help. Thank you. And consider subscribing. I'm giving you a very in-depth report this morning. I'm not going to be live after this. I'm only going to be here for another half an hour. That's it for the day. I'm bringing you the news on government control, not adoption. I'm bringing you the what's behind the scenes of the Fed. Me raising $500,000 to buy Coca Cola, a report from Warren Buffett, a report from Donald Trump. All of it is coming up in this live stream. I've just done the ETF part, and now we move on to the next part. So right now we have got Trump and Xi Jinping on a phone call about the tariff deal. This isn't going to do much for the market. Those sources that I speak to, I have a press room White House contact, and I also have my Bank of America and everybody else you know. You may have noticed Brian Moynihan, CEO of Bank of America, was at the banquet with the King Charles III and Donald Trump over in Windsor Castle, by the way. No surprise there, by the way. Big deal. CEO of Bank of America. It was a business trip. I hope you noticed that. The CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, was there. Anyway, so right now, Trump is on the phone to Xi Jinping. The deal is mainly focused on the wrong thing. Trump is obsessed with this news about TikTok. I cannot believe this whole thing is swinging on a silly, stupid app. I can't believe it. But it is. It's not going to do anything for the market when we get a deal. Well, great, American businesses are buying TikTok. Oh my gosh, great. Well, I'm going to run out now and invest in the stock market. I can't. The reason that this is gaining momentum is because Trump loves TikTok. He says it helped him win the election. Great, very, very good. But I've got bigger things to think about. This is not going to pump the market on this news. We will get the news shortly. I'll cover it live. It's already priced in that we're going to have a tariff deal. It won't be that good as we expect. It won't really make the market move. And the TikTok news, I mean, really, what the hell, what world are we living in when that is the focus of the most powerful late leaders in the world, having a conversation over an app where people scroll every 3 seconds? It'd be on words. I'm also going to break this down in a moment. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway should sell Coca Cola. That is a major story. Now, this is a major story, bigger than anything today, because Berkshire Hathaway position in the market is bigger than just about everything added together. And 0.68 of 1% of the S&P is Coca Cola. What if Warren Buffett dumps all of Coca Cola? I hope he does. And this is why I'm ready for my big purchase. I'll break that down in a minute as well. Now we're going to go over to the Fed. You can't fight the Fed. And while I've been talking, the information about vertical aerospace, you can see it pumping like crazy. Don't be surprised if we're up 100% today. Very rarely I buy a new speculative business, but I've gone in and I bought the business. Not trading it, I've bought the business. And I put it in a secret video yesterday because I didn't want to influence anyone and tell everyone to buy it. And it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. I'm making loads of money on this. And I'm not surprised at all. And I hope to have, or will have, the director of MI5 on the show and the CEO on the show. This is a big story, folks. I'm not even going to, I don't want to promote this. I want you to research for yourself. But I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I've bought the business at the bottom and I'm up already. I've never been in the red. All right, so there you go. Let me go now down to my next story I want to bring up with this. This is important. The Fed rate cut masked large internal differences about where policy is going. Now, this is important for crypto because yesterday, when we got the rate cut, people, you were euphoric. Great, crypto's going to run. I said it would not run, and I know this because the people at Bank of America who buy XRP and Robinhood who buy Ethereum know it's not. I talked to them. And I said, we need 0.5% and a dovish Fed. We got 0.25. I was calling for 0.5%. We didn't get it. We didn't get a dovish Fed either. But it's more hawkish than you could possibly know. And now I'm going to show you how hawkish it is. Gives you an indication of where the markets are going, how you can win, but also some good news. Bank of Japan, less likely now to have a carry trade unwind. This is good. This is why I can now go in, all in, $500,000 on Coca Cola. And I'll explain all of this in this live stream. So let's start with this. The US Federal Reserve Chair Powell speaks during a press conference following the issuance of the Federal Open Market Committee statement of interest rates on Washington, D.C. on September the 17th. You all saw what happened. We covered it live and we got a 0.25. But we got a hawkish Fed. But we got a much more hawkish Fed than you can possibly imagine. The Federal Reserve found plenty of unity this week to push through a 0.25 percentage point interest rate reduction. 0.25% does absolutely nothing. Did not move the needle at all on crypto. It's not going to, and it didn't. A decision that nonetheless marked substantial divisions among officials over what's ahead. Now, until you read the dot plot, you don't understand what went on behind the scenes, and I'm going to share this with you now. Countering Wall Street expectations for multiple dissents, the rate-setting Federal Open Market Committee on Wednesday voted 11-1 in favor of the reduction. It sounds great, right? So you go, fantastic. Everybody's in favor. We're going to get loads of rate cuts. XRP, Bitcoin's going to the moon. Everybody on X who doesn't read the dot plot, who doesn't speak to these people afterwards, don't care. Let's tell everybody it's great. Let's buy it. Except nobody did. What did I do? I sold and trimmed at the top of my XRP and my Bitcoin in a tax lot efficient way, and I've provided capital to buy a lot more of Coca Cola. I'll explain all why soon. So 11-1 in favor of reduction. It sounds overwhelming, doesn't it? It's not quite the full story. However, the dot plot of individual participants' expectations told a different story. You won't read about this on X today. You won't hear anybody who talks about XRP and Bitcoin say this today. Remember, I'm not trying to sell videos. I honor my silver plaque, soon to be a gold one, and I honor my verification tick. I am live, unedited. I'm not doing what you want to hear. I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what makes me win, as in makes money, not selling videos, and thereby I can support Leah's cancer treatment. And you can all make money too. A sharp divide on how many more cuts should happen this year and the next 3, along with wide dispersions on forecasts for gross domestic product, inflation and unemployment. Let me be absolutely clear. the most important thing of all is not jobs, it's inflation. If the Fed have to choose between jobs and inflation, they'll choose inflation every time. If inflation gets out of control, everything collapses. Everything collapses, especially now we're at 27 times earnings on the S&P. We are at a huge bubble. Michael Burry gave you the alarm bell for the last big crash. I'm giving you this one here. But there's always a way to make money. It's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. And know and understand what's actually going on, not the noise on social media or joining a fan club. XRP, Bitcoin doesn't care about you. It doesn't know you own it. So don't follow it like a sheep, like everybody's trying to do. So while the final rate vote was lopsided, supporting documents for the committee's summary of economic projections showed considerable uncertainty on the future. The markets are overheated. It's why I trimmed the S&P, but I'm still in. But I bought defensive, oversold. More details will follow. After the great financial crisis, I thought, well, the interesting times are over, said Dan North, Chief Economics of Alliance Trade North America. No, those were just the beginnings. It seemed like here's another perfect example. In short, the SEP showed that officials don't expect inflation to hit the Fed's 2% target until 2028. None of that was in the mainstream news. None of that is on X. None of that was expressed during the live FOMC report. What does that mean? That means rates aren't coming down the way we want them. That means XRP and Bitcoin cannot possibly rally because liquidity will not come into the market. That means we're probably going to get, and we are in a bubble of the S&P 500, and because it's all concentrated in 7 businesses that are all 30 to 32, 35% over price to earnings ratio. Never in history has that held up for long. Everyone keeps buying, thinking it's going to go up forever. You can always make money. I make money. I always win. I always will. This is now I've got a lot more to add to these trades and wins, but I've won on every single one. You have to know when to accept that you're at the top. Trim off. Don't believe your favorite asset can go up forever. Find new, innovative ways to make money. Was I right on vertical aerospace? Yes. I've never, very rarely buy a speculative stock, new, but yet, after listening to the MI5 director and another very open investor, I realized that this great British business with American influence is a great stock to own, a 20x, by the way. You've got to know when to pivot. You've got to know when to trim. So there's going to be no target reached until 2028. Now, Trump will say there's no inflation. It's all down to zero. It's going to go nowhere. Well, we can have euphoric noise if you want, and we can have everybody screaming about Charlie Kirk on ETF, and then everybody screaming about Jimmy Kimmel. Government adoption of crypto. It's not government adoption of crypto. It's government control of crypto. Everything is changing right before your eyes, and most people are walking straight into it. And the winners will be those that understand all of this. It'll be the government. Trump won't lose. He'll make money. A lot of rich people will make money. My friends who are hedge fund managers, Wall Street managers, CEOs, Brian Moynihan, Bank of America, they'll all make money. I'll make money because these are the people I listen to. This is the information that I get. And X and all the other stuff goes on is useless and rubbish. So there's no inflation coming down quickly. There isn't. However, bands within these forecasts were fairly wide as uncertainty holds over the labour market and prices. Now, if you know anything about the stock market, uncertainty is everything. Everything is about uncertainty or certainty. The stock market does not trade on anything else other than certainty. That's it. It doesn't care about buying certain stocks or certain assets. It doesn't care what people say or what they don't say online. It looks at uncertainty. And if there's noise and uncertainty, it takes profit. And boy, when it takes profit, it'll take it big. And the S&P could drop 20% overnight on all of these price actions. To be sure, the difference in the dot plot and SEP were primarily measured in tenths of a percent point and easily could swing either way, depending on how future developments impact the quarterly updates. But in today's world of policymaking, where the data increasingly tells a story of weakening labour market and stubborn inflation, stagflation, or stagflation light as some economics call it, such marginal differences can have outsized impacts. Be very careful and prepared, and I am, for a massive, massive reduction and correction. And when it starts, it'll be too late. You'll be wiped out. Most people will. Most retail investors who are using leverage to buy crypto will lose everything. And I don't want that to happen to my Lucasades. Wall Street commentary noted that unusual dynamics, the dot plot of medium rate expectations, revealed a remarkable degree of dispersion, says Gregory Dacko, chief economist at EY Parthenon. Although the median projection pointed in 2 additional rate cuts in October and December, the range of views was striking. Indeed, those favouring 2 cuts prevailed by just 10 to 9. For 2026, a whopping 1.25 percentage points, equivalent to 5 rate moves, separated the 2 most hawkish officials from the most dovish. The dispersion was even wider for 2027, when the Martyn dot, presumed by most observers to belong to newly minted governors Stephen Moran, sat alone at the bottom of the grid, pointing to a funds rate target between 2.25% and 2.5%, or 1.7% percentage points below the current level. As he heard central bank Cats Chair Jerome Powell emphasize the importance of using the grid less as establishing targets are more as a set of possibilities. The chair's advice was a flash of complete intellectual honesty, wrote Nick Calas, co-founder of Data Trek Research. Yet, part of his motivation here is to preserve the FOMC's options. Calas said in the daily newsletter, but the fact that he needs to do that about near-term rates decisions is telling. The Martyn dot and the Fed's future. Then there's that Martyn dot. President Donald Trump, latest appointee, ushered to the meeting Tuesday just after being sworn in amid questions of whether he'll even fill out his dots and SEP predictions, showed himself thus far to be an outlier rather than someone positioned to enforce his boss's agenda for dramatically lower rates. Is the Fed becoming more political? Is that good? History shows you it's the worst thing that could happen. People are talking about today. Jimmy Kimmel. Is it a government overreach? Is Trump trying to silence certain opinions? I don't know about that yet. No one has ever told me from the source that is happening. And that's the only time I report it, if I get it from the source. I don't know. But we are in a world of change, and a change is bad. A change is good, but a change is bad for the stock market. You need to be prepared. Moreover, White House officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, have maintained that Martyn's stint on the Fed will be brief, likely ending when the unexpired term he was selected to fill runs out at the end of January 2026. That's 3 meetings after that, his dot goes away. In the meantime, his time at the Fed could be instructive by future Trump appointees that moving monetary policy is more about consensus building than being a Gadfly shadow chair. The only way for any voter to really move things around is to be incredibly persuasive. And the only way to do that in the context in which we work is to make really strong arguments based on the data and understanding of the economy, Powell said at his post-meeting news conference. Most people now do not, and analysts, I've got to be honest with you, on Bloomberg and CNBC, most of them have not a bloody clue about what is actually going on. Because when you actually speak to the people on the ground who run the businesses, they have a very different point of view than the people reporting it on the mainstream media. It's a very scary time that we're in right now. The chair, though, also has work cut out for him until his own term expires in 2026. His challenge between now and then will be putting bumpers around the labour market while not driving inflation higher at a time when the price impact from Trump's tariffs is far from certain. It is indeed far from certain. Well, we are going through this story. Let's have a quick look. Ethereum is still down. XRP is going down even more. Bitcoin is going down even more. My portfolio is holding firm. I'm beating the market again. All right. What about my Coca Cola? Sat right there. The moment this dips, I'm employing a lot more capital, and I'll explain why it's going to Coca Cola in a minute. This is a very long live stream. I appreciate it, but a lot of information is being shared here. And my biggest tip of the decade, Vertical Aerospace. It's a very small market cap, great British company with American influence, an MI5, that's think of James Bond on the board. I'm going to have them on my show. Just revealed a very private information that we aired privately. It was a private invitation from the CEO. I don't want you to follow me. This is not financial advice. I'm already up 30% in a couple of days. People, probably more than that now. People are following me, but I do not want you to. Okay? Do your research. Understand why I bought this. When I buy with conviction. When I buy, I know. When I buy, I get information from the sources. And I very rarely, if ever now, buy speculative small cap businesses. But I bought this one and I was right. And you can see it's been up like this 2 or 3 days now. Let's carry on. So, the tensions within the Fed's dual mandate for price stability and maximum sustainable employment are at the heart of several inconsistencies inside the Fed's rate growth. Oh my gosh, I'm just watching some markets here explode. Vertical is just going nuts. Volume has gone crazy. That's people follow my. Please do not follow me. I'll keep telling you, if you don't know what you own, don't buy it like a crypto coin and speculative guessing. All right? I'm seeing who's buying it and where the money's coming from. Please do not do that. All right? I don't buy it if you know what you own. Don't just follow me. We might have a live trade coming up in a minute for Coca Cola. I'm going in with $500,000, so I'm just keeping my eye on that. Yeah, crypto is going down. Okay, might break off in a minute and do my trades.
Human being has become a member.
Thank you very much indeed for becoming a member. Suggest everyone become Electrum member. This is our favorite membership. Everyone who's gold sponsor and upwards will also be included in this. We're having a weekly live interactive private event just for members. It won't be broadcast publicly, just for members. And we are doing a live interactive game show, quiz, very visual, learning how to trade, learning about the stock market. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get to know you. It's how we're going to build our ambassador network out. There's the link if you want to become a member. If you are on an iPhone or iPad, iOS device, make sure that you go onto a browser, desktop version to get Electrum. You won't want to miss any of these events. They start next week. Tensions within the Fed's dual mandate of price stability and maximum sustainable development are at the heart of several inconsistencies inside the Fed's rate growth inflation. I'm just going to put an alert here because it appears to me, I'm going to put a bright green spot. There you go on our play button. Vertical aerospace is potentially on the edge of going parabolic. All right. Just watching the numbers go up. So there's a little warning there. So tension in the Fed's dual mandate of price stability and maximum sustainable employment are at the heart of several inconsistencies inside the Fed's rate growth, inflation and unemployment forecasts, wrote Joseph, chief economist at RSM. Now, the forecast now rests upon just how entrenched the Fed's credibility is and where public influence and professional inflation expectations will move over the next year. He added, should prices rise above the Fed's forecast, persistent inflation could be the outcome. I mean, you're not getting this on the mainstream media. There is real potential of the Fed having to not reduce rates. Crypto will crash if that happens. And my vertical aerospace that I now own the business is going to go through the roof. That's why the green play button is glowing white green at the moment. And so will Coca Cola, by the way. Right. Let's provide some more. Let me just... I think I've covered enough of that now. I have covered enough of that. So now we move on to my next part. So my positions here. Flipping heck, it's about to go parabolic. Right. So this is my real money. Remember, everything I tell you here is my real money, my real shares, my real position. I'm not trying to make friends, sell videos. The reason why 98% of my live viewers are members are not because they want to give me money and YouTube ads and membership, because they want to win. They want to hear information from the source. They don't want videos that are done to sell, to get clicks. They are done so they can actually make money and follow a channel that actually works. So this is my real money. So let me show you now about my position and why I'm switching heavily now into Coca Cola. So this is my actual portfolio. My real money. I've got no money in the bank at all. $10 in Bank of America, £10 in Lloyd's Bank in England. That's it. All my money's invested. I'm a full conviction investor, 100% committed. I buy with conviction. I don't buy dips. I don't dollar cost average. I buy when I know that the business is undervalued, oversold, and great potential. I buy crypto when I know how it makes money. And ETFs is not that. ETFs is not that. What it is how XRP can make money. So I've explained the ETF situation, all the bull, the BS. I've explained the Fed uncertainty. I've explained rate cuts, where they're going, inflation, all of that. All right. So now I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my real money, and then I'm going to end this stream and spend my day with Leah. So let's wrap this up. This is my portfolio. I am still invested in Bitcoin, but I've massively reduced my position. I'm still invested in Ethereum because New York Stock Exchange is going to be built on it and it makes money. I also earn by staking. I'm in XRP, but I've trimmed using tax lots. I'm not in Doge. That's Doge dust. My S&P, and I'll show you how much I've got in there in a moment. My S&P now is, and it was 95% of my portfolio with 5% crypto, is now 39.8. Still very heavy. $159,000 in my main account is invested in the S&P. 39.8. However, it's made up of a bubble. I've started to buy heavily now into Coca Cola. You can see how vertical aerospace is going up. It's going parabolic right now. Coca Cola is where I put my money, where I've taken my money from XRP and Bitcoin and the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. I won't buy the XRP one and the Doge one because that is rubbish. The coin is great. The ETF is rubbish. It's there for the benefit of those that set it up. I'm buying heavily into Coca Cola. Now I'm down again. Keeps going down. I'm catching a falling knife, that some might say. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not catching a falling knife. I'm actually buying a great business that I don't need to sell. I'm going to come into that in a moment in more detail. 46% now, my portfolio. Because if we're in a bubble, which we are, and if the S&P starts to trim, which it will, and I can buy with confidence because now the BOJ reducing rates and their inflation's coming down, we're not going to get, or their holding rates, inflation's coming down, we're not going to get, or at least less likely to get a carry trade unwind. I can buy the US stock market, I can buy US businesses with more conviction. So I'm buying more. And I'm about to buy a lot more Coca Cola as we end this live stream, right? My overall position, 289. Just dropped from 292. 292 is an all-time high. So I'm hardly off my all-time high, despite crypto going down, despite everything that's going on. I'm hardly down at all. I'm moving more money into safety now, into defensive. And I'm also going to be earning this quarter, on the 1st of October, $1,100 in dividends from from Coca Cola, and about $300 or $400 from the S&P. Next quarter, I'm going to be somewhere in the region of over $2,000 in dividends on those two positions. I'm trying to get $1,000 a month dividends. That's the aim. That's why I'm buying more Coca Cola, to protect my portfolio, so I can provide the funds for Leah's treatment, but also to make sure that I don't lose money. And we are always making money. We always got to make money. All right? We've always got to win. Let me show you my, you see, I'm up on the week, I'm up on the month, I'm up on the 3 months, the year to date, the 1 year, the 1 year, always making money, never losing, always growing. And as long as you're consistently making money, you'll be all right. Okay, now then, live trade. Many are calling for Warren Buffett to sell Coca Cola. Tremendous news for me. Everybody's selling it now. Fantastic. Noise, idiots, buy crypto, buy XRP. It's all going to go to the moon. I've explained all the reasons why I don't believe that's going to happen anytime soon. So, everyone's now going, Warren Buffett should sell Coca Cola, it's underperforming. Fantastic. It's not underperforming. In fact, its profits are up. It's beating on earnings. Its margins are increasing. It's a great business and a defensive play. Warren Buffett isn't selling any, but everybody is telling him to sell it. Get out of here. It's rubbish. Carry on. Keep making the noise. Now, I'm just going to go through this very, very quickly because I want to wrap this live stream up because I want everyone to watch the whole of this. Many people won't. They'll go, I'm not going to watch that. It's an hour long. But I hope you do. I really hope you do, because this will define your portfolio for a generation. I believe that. I believe it so much, I'm putting all my money into it. Let's look at where we are right now as I wrap this up. The S&P is running now at 27, 28 times earnings. Coca Cola is regarded as expensive and everyone should dump it and sell it. Lovely. 22 forward. It's actually very nice. It's in its mid-range now, lower to mid-range. That is a huge buy signal for me. With over 3% on a dividend yield. Oh my gosh, we've got 18, 20% in it this year. When the S&P starts to trim, it'll go to defensive and you'll get the dividend. It's a no-brainer. Then you can receive the dividends periodically and buy crypto when it's the right time. This is how you fund your future investment. This is a good number, right? I don't need to give you the description. I've run my model through. Let me go through all this. I don't need to do this. I will give you its unique position though. Coca-Cola's unique value proposition lies in its strong brand recognition. Now that is the key. Brand recognition is more important than anything in this sector, and global distribution. The company benefits from its extensive portfolio of well-known brands. People go, oh, it's only Coca Cola. Next year we got the Olympics. Is it Olympics next year? And is it the year after? Olympics and football, World Cup, both coming to America. Think of this, folks. Think of this. Olympics and the World Cup coming to America. Coca-Cola is going to be all over it. And if you followed the history of the business, which is why I can buy it with so much aggression, is because I know what happens on great publicity events like the World Cup in America. And they're both happening, the Olympics and the World Cup. And they're both happening in America for a great American business. If you're wondering and tuned in why is my play button glowing green, it's because I've just bought a new business and it's virtually going parabolic live on the show as I'm just letting everybody know about it. I'm not trying to pump it or anything. I'm just telling you about it. All right. So that's why the play button is glowing green at the moment. Anyway, so it's unique proposition. In fact, I don't need to read too much of that. I want to wrap this up. I really do. Let's talk about the valuation just quickly. The valuation of Coca-Cola, the valuation metrics are significantly higher than the sector. They deserve to be. That puts people off. It's a high value stock. If you compare it to crypto, it's cheap. Just saying. With price cash flow at 219, vastly exceeding the sector median of 11, indicating an expensive stock. It is an expensive stock. So is Nvidia, so is Google, so is Microsoft, so is the S&P, so is Bitcoin, so is Ethereum, so is XRP. This should not be a reason to be put off. Growth shows robust growth in certain areas with EBITDA of growth year on year at 7%, well above the sector median. Growth is there. Everyone says the growth isn't there. It is there, way above the sector median of 4%. However, revenue growth is limited with a year-on-year figure of 1%, significantly below the sector median of 2%. We've had a slight downturn. This is the time to buy. Profitability demonstrates strong profitability. Right now, with a bubble in the S&P and uncertainty and ETFs not going the way that you want them with crypto and speculative assets and government overreach, Jimmy Kimmel, all this stuff you're hearing about, all this uncertainty, with government control over crypto, not acceptance or more to do with control. If when the market goes down, which it will, and it will correct, it will go here. So I want to be in when it does. Profitability. This business makes consistent profit over and over again with a net margin of 26%. I just told you about the ever increasing margin. That is the moat. What does that mean? Other businesses have to reduce their profit. That's the margin. That is the moat around the business. Coca-Cola will crush everybody. 26%, significantly higher than the sector median of 5%, indicating efficient conversion of sales into profits. Additionally, the gross profit margin is 61%, well above the sector. I mean, I like to buy a business that makes money. I want to buy businesses that make money. XRP, Ripple makes money, but not through the ETF, not through the hype, not through the noise, through the Ripple Bank that will come. That's why I want to own XRP. Momentum. Coca-Cola's momentum is relatively weak. Everyone's selling. It's down. It's out of trend. It's out of favor. People say Warren Buffett should sell it. He's not selling it. I'm buying it. With the 3-month price performance of negative 6%. This is the stock price, not the business price, the stock price. This suggests bearish sentiment and a declining stock trend. Revisions. Earning revisions are positive with 18 upward revisions and only 1 downward in the last 3 months. The business essentially is great. The business is doing great. So, here we go. I'm going to wrap this up. The reason why the play button is green is I've just bought a new business, and I've told you all about it. Vertical Aerospace, literally going parabolic on the show, as you can see. It's already done. It's done that the last couple of days. I bought it because I learned from a director from MI5. We had a private live stream given to us by the CEO. So that's why I bought it. So I'm very happy to buy that. But now, live on the show, I'm going to buy Coca Cola. I have just freed up capital by trimming my XRP, by trimming my Bitcoin, by selling all of the ETFs, all rubbish, to provide myself with even more money, $36,000 right now, plus I get paid in a couple of days' time. I'm aiming to get $500,000 in Coca Cola. Why? Because it will protect my portfolio, it'll make me money, it'll help support my wife through our cancer treatment, and most importantly, I can then trim and buy back my XRP when it dips. And it will, because of the nonsense with the ETFs and the inflation and the fact we might not get as many rate cuts as we want. I want to own more of a quality asset, not because it's speculative or guessing, because the Ripple Bank will make money and the XRP will be locked up. So to do that, I've got to make money. And right now, locking my money up in crypto is a very bad idea.
Josh Monroe donated $5 through a super chat. Love and prayers to you and Leah.
It's coming down. XRP is being dumped now. Ethereum is holding up. That's why I'm holding that. Bitcoin's coming down. It doesn't make any money yet. ETF noise was rubbish. So let me get now into a real live trade and wrap this up. So live on the show. Let me look at my Coca Cola and wrap this up. And then I'm going to send you to the XRP Ladies Night tonight. I need to go and take a screenshot of my average. I've done that. 67.14. I've last bought Coca Cola at 66. 68, 66.38. My average on this now is 67.14, so significantly lower. So trade by limit order. In fact, I don't need to do that. Buy in dollars. I can do it this way this morning because there's low volume. Dollars. Okay, I've just purchased exactly at the right moment. I held that. I've just bought Coca Cola, a huge, huge position. I've just bought, you can see it right now, scroll down, $34,000 of Coca Cola. So I've now got, and it's just coming up. I'm literally moving the market on Coca Cola. I'm joking, of course, I'm not, but I want to buy it here. So I've got now $250,000, $220,000 in Coca Cola, $220,000 in Coca Cola. If you want anyone to show you conviction, that is it. $220,000 in Coca Cola on my main account. If we add that now to, if we go to my other account, the Roth IRA, in the Roth IRA, I own 43. So I now own $263,000 in Coca Cola. I am over now $250,000 in Coca Cola. Let's do a calculation. 648. 648 plus Warren Buffett, eat your heart out, mate. And then my main account, 3,314 plus 3,314 equals 3,962. And now I go to my dividend payout structure and look here of what will be paid out. It will increase next quarter, as it always does over 65 years, I believe it is. 51 cents times 0.51 equals 2020. Now we're going to write that down because that's very, very important. 2020, that's every quarter. Come back to the S&P. Come back to the S&P. Come back to the S&P and look here, because I've only got it here. 262 times, I now want VOO's dividend, VOO, the S&P 500. They are currently paying 174. It'll be 180 next quarter. Yes. Declaration date the 26th. Yeah, I'll probably buy more if we get that drop between now and the 26th. Ex-dividend date is the 29th of September. I've got 10 days, so I've got like 5 days to, got about 5 days. So next week, if we get the crash I'm expecting, I can buy the dip with the S&P and balance it all out. Right, okay, so we've now got 180, so times $1.80 equals 471 plus 2020. That is that divided by 3. Nearly there. Get in. I'm nearly there. So I would anticipate by the end of September, I should be up to my $1,000 a month in dividends. $1,000 a month, I can buy XRP, if that's still in favor, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It'll probably be XRP and Ethereum. I can buy $1,000 a month, every month, forever, in XRP, without ever selling anything, without ever earning any money. So I'd like to get that to $1,000. And in fact, it will get there by default because the ETF, the price will go up anyway. So that's exciting, isn't it? That's exciting. So we're going to leave that there. I'm going to write that down. 830. Right. 830 per month. That's what I need to be able to do all the things I want to do. Right. So the S&P is selling off. That's expected now. If that trims back, when I get paid on the 21st, I will buy a lot more S&P as it drops, because it will. It'll go defensive. It's already doing it. My Coca Cola is now is still falling. It's still falling. My average now, let me just see what it is. My average now is 67.03. Now, when I did that, right before I did that, my average was, I took a picture. My average was 67.14. It's now 67.03. And I was down 1.1. I'm now down 0.97. So I can live with that. and I can let everybody dump as much of Coca Cola as they want. All right. I'll just keep buying it. Right. So there we go. That's it. I am done. I wanted to provide all this information to you. Let me take off the green light and go back to our normal position. And what I'm going to do now is show you where we're going right after this. This is where we're going next this evening. There's no closing bell. I'm spending the time with Leah today. XRP Ladies Night. Live tonight. I've given you the link at the top. I've given you the link now in the chat. There it is in the chat for you. There you go. There is the link in the chat. Join me tonight for our XRP Ladies Night every Friday at 4 p.m. on the music channel. We have a party. It'll automatically take you there. You can order your free songs. The first few people get a free song. And there we go. So let's have a quick look at the markets as we see what's going on. My overall portfolio is going down because Coca Cola is trimming at the moment. The S&P is going down. Everything is now going to go down. Virgin Galactic Palantir is up. I wouldn't buy that. That's a massive bubble about to burst. Gold going up. I don't like to see gold going up. That's uncertainty. Amazon now trimming. Apple going up on Apple Day. It will until people take profit. Enphase Energy up slightly. Coca-Cola still going down. That's what I want it for. J&J trimming off. Chevron Oil going down. Tesla now selling off. McDonald's starting to go down. Google starting to go back down. Microsoft starting to go back down. Meta starting to go back down. Nvidia now starting to trim back off. Walmart starting to go down. Tilray, it's a joke stock. Robinhood now starting to go down. Rocket Lab starting to go down. Plug starting to go down. Bitcoin down nearly 1%. XRP down 1.3%. It's too late now. It's too late to sell your XRP. I like it at this valuation. I just don't want to be holding as much. I want to get Ethereum down 1.3. Okay, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I've not been able to answer comments and questions this morning. I wanted to go through all this facts, all this information. I hope you've all watched it all the way through. Please do tap the like button. Please consider subscribing. I want to just give a final message to all of you. Thank you for your support to Leah. She has started the process. We are on a path of treatment and all the things that we've got to do. So I've got to make some money. I've got to be consistently winning. I hope that this provides information and support to all of you. Good luck, everyone. Be prepared for a major correction. Go defensive. Don't follow me. Don't do what I do. But there's reasons why I do what I do. And it's because I have to do what's right for my audience. I have to do what's right whether you like the news or not. And I always win. I always get it done. I need to update this. During the night, during the night, I sold lots of lots of Bitcoin and XRP, and all for profit. In fact, I'll do it now. It was actually 5 trades I did. Today, that wasn't a win. I haven't sold it yet. So this is now 80 trades. Sorry, 6 trades, I beg your pardon. 90 trades and 89 wins. I'll show you all the trades later individually, but right now I want to wrap this up. I kept doing tax lots over again, finding the right position out of XRP and out of Bitcoin. That's it from me. Join me tonight on the XRP Ladies Night. It will take you there automatically. Thank you very much for all your support. I wish everybody the best. But what is coming now, the Lucasades will be prepared and they're not going to be surprised by anything. Are you? Okay. Click above my head for all the links. It will be there later on, down below in the description. It'll be down here. The competition giveaway, we're giving away $2,000 in XRP. Make sure that you take part in the giveaway. It's free to enter, free for all. Anybody can win our giveaway. And also on top of all of that, I can't remember. I completely forgot. Join me for the show tonight. Anyway, whatever. It's all down here. Over here, I shall put the event tonight. And down here, I shall put the competition to win $2,000. Take part at martynlucas.com/giveaway. That's it from me. I'll see you back on the party tonight. I wish everybody the very best of luck. Remember, it's not about luck. It's about reading the balance sheets, getting information and sharing it and doing what's right. I hope you thought today was right. When this finishes, please leave a comment underneath. I want to know your thoughts today. Did you agree with this? When this video, when this live stream ends, it will turn into a video. Please put your thoughts below. Was the information helpful? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think Bitcoin and crypto is going to run forever and ever? The S&P is going to run forever and ever? Or have I done the right thing? You let me know in the comments. I will read every single one and I will reply to every single member. That's what we do. That's it from me. Above, down here, over here, and over here. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.